All right. Looks like the countdown timer is off and this time it's working. Sorry for the snafu. I don't think it was something I did, but my earlier Facebook Live was interrupted in the middle of me talking without even making any changes or setting anything differently. All right. Looks like the countdown timer is off and this okay. Is working. Hold on. This is my feedback loop here. I don't think it was something I did. All right. Okay, cool. Now we know it's working on that end. So, guys, sorry about this. Again, if you're live right now, if you can see me, say hello. Come on over to the page where the actual video is hosted. And let me tell you real quick what we're going to do on this call. There are two topics that I want to update you on. One is the matter of tracking tags and how to use them properly. We made recently a change in the analytics reporting in Trackify that concerns the tracking of tags that are sent on the pixels. And I'll explain why we made the change, and I'll explain what you need to do to get the tracking that you need and the tracking that you want in Trackify Analytics. So that's number one. The other thing is I want to fill you in a little bit more detail on the differences between Trackify server-side events and what Shopify has now finally integrated as well on their end. They call it CAPI, or Conversion API events. And as is always the case, Trackify is on the cutting edge of Shopify. We still have the same benefits of Trackify compared to the basic Shopify integrations that was there before Shopify integrated its CAPI server-side events, and Trackify was already, well over a month ahead of the Shopify integration, and we still have the same cutting edge. And we'll go over some of those details as well. And, if you haven't noticed it, Q4 is here. Still, the election campaigns are going nuts and crazy, spending their dollars on Facebook ads and pushing, prices up clearly and competition up for everybody else in e-commerce. We just have to kind of hang in there for another couple of weeks or however long it is to until the elections. Yeah, it's actually exactly 2 weeks. This is Tuesday, so 2 weeks from now is November 3rd. So then the campaigns, the political campaigns, ad campaigns will hopefully get off the screen and off Facebook, and we'll be able to then see a little bit more relaxed cost for ad spend and so forth. So, but until then, my suggestion is to hang in there as much as you can, build your audiences up, target the right people, be very, a little bit judgmental and scrupulous about spending too much, but spend targeted amounts of money, and go about it by building your data, your audience data, your custom audiences, and so that you can then see to it that you use them and target them once you can blast them. Hey, Carol, how are you? Awesome person. Let me see. Why can't I? This is odd. Normally I can click on the chat. Oh, it's not in the chat. No, it must be a chat. I don't understand why I can't click on it and make it visible. That's very strange. All right. So there are some things to complain about in Be Live. They have everything that looks nice and clean and new, but there are some functional issues. All right. So going back to the audiences, there are some other new features in Trackify that I don't think many of you have fully embraced yet. For example, the feature of building lookalike audiences based on the performance of a specific campaign and even specific ad sets. So that one, if we get around to it, I'll highlight that at the end of this call as well. All right. Now, let me get back to my screen share here. Let me rearrange some stuff and I'll take myself off. So guys, just as an alarm here or a warning, if you see my audio dropping off, or if something happens that seems to disrupt the live stream, please do let me know in the chat, because I'm not going to go back and forth and check and do stuff. I'm just going to go through what I have prepared. And if you keep sending me some comments and keep me comfortable in the sense that I know that you're still there, that would be really helpful and awesome. All right, now let's show this one, and I'm going to hide my on them, we would have to create all this data, parse it all out. And as I said, 90% of you would never even want to look at those tags that you have there. So with that said, now we are turning this around. We're putting the onus back on you to create tracking tags for items that you want to actually track on purpose. All right. So that means we're going back to the formatting requirements, and that's what this is for. So the formatting requirement. This has no impact on your Facebook audiences and your Facebook, whatever you've created, Facebook custom conversions. If you've built any of these items based on any tags and they're working for you, they will remain working because we still send all tags with all Facebook pixel events to Facebook. So audiences based on any of your tags will still work. You can still build them on any of your tags now. Custom conversions, if they're based on a tag filter criteria, any tag will still work. Doesn't have to be formatted specifically according to this. The only two features in Trackify that are now limited to the tracking tag formatting is now it is the analytics reports by tags. So analytics reports by tags from the October 8th on will only show for tags that follow the formatting convention. And the other feature, and that has always been like that, even in Trackify X, is that you had to have tracking tags if you wanted to create catalog segments automatically through Trackify. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, in catalog, so we have in Trackify, we have only one feed in general that contains all products, with some exceptions I'm going to go into in just a minute. But you only have one feed, you only have one catalog. And if you want to run ads that are going to only a subset of the entire catalog, so only going to a specific set of products, the way to do this is to create product sets in Facebook on the catalog. And then you can run your DPA ads not to the entire catalog, but to the individual product sets. Okay, that's how that part works. And these catalog sets, you can create them automatically in Trackify X. Also, even in the older version of Trackify that was possible as well. Let me just see here. I'm about to show you an example for this. I think I created one a little bit earlier. Yes, this is going to work. I think this is actually going to work awesomely. Okay, great. So here, I just created this one this morning, this catalog. And you can see here, this item right here automatically creates product sets. And these product sets are also limited to only work for the tracking tags that are formatted in the way that I just explained, right? Okay, so check it out. This here, I'm just gonna push this in here real quick, this little demo. So I'm on the product sets of this particular catalog that I'm looking at in Trackify. And oh, you know what? Let me just go from scratch here, because this is actually really cool to show how you get there, right? You get there, you can access the catalog on Facebook by clicking on the catalog name in Trackify. Then that opens the catalog manager in Facebook. And then here you can see all kinds of things. You can go through that, and we'll do that in detail on another Facebook Live. But now let's take a look at the product sets, right? The product sets, there are currently no product sets here, but these items that I have in here, they contain tracking tags, right? If you go to more fields here, there are tracking tags, right? Product type, they're in the product type field. And you can see here, there are all tracking tags that are all formatted accordingly, according to the convention, PP underscore. They all start with PP underscore. Okay, great, wonderful. So now that means Now that the tags are already in the catalog, I can go back to Trackify and hit this button to create product sets. And this will run for a little while, can run for a little while longer if you have more tracking tags. And then it says product sets created successfully. And now if we come back to our sets here and refresh this, there you can see it. So we have now this list here. Let me see, is there a different? Yeah, no, this is good. So we have now the list of product sets. This was before it was empty. And now we created the all product set, but we also created a set for each tracking tag that we found in the catalog. Okay, so let's go through this one here, PP t-shirt, for example. There you go. So this tracking tag is assigned to 2 products, and this product set now contains only all the products that have this tag on them. And now you can actually advertise the set right here, right? So if you click on this button, it'll take you to the place where, to your ads manager, you can set up a DPA ad, and you can then run that ad directly to this set, to this product set. All right. So that's cool. That's the other cool feature that is tied to, and I wasn't on the full screen here. I'm sorry about that. I always forget to. Having too many tags, with having your entire shop crowded out with tags that you'll never ever use or look at again. This is actually a bad thing, because what it does is it creates a bunch of data on your Facebook pixels, but it's data that you will never tap into and you'll never leverage that. So it's actually a very healthy process to say, okay, well, now that I know that I have a mess in my tags and I need tracking tags to actually track something, let's just step back for a moment. Let's analyze the products that are in the shop, and let's think about what makes sense in terms of tagging and how to segment and separate these products that I actually want to tag and that I actually want to create audiences that have a meaningful difference between each other. And if you do this every now and then, first when you set up your tags originally, but then I would literally set myself a calendar date every 3 months at the latest, at the biggest distance, and really make it a day, or take a couple hours, go through all your tags in your shop and review which tags make sense anymore, which tags don't make any sense anymore, and clean out. Because tagging is important for creating good data and good audiences, but over tagging is just like if you don't tag anything. Because when you over tag stuff, you will just get into the place where you will not know anymore what you tagged, and that means you can't efficiently use anything. So this is a great benefit, and you can do that. And again, there's a big exception here. Anything that has to do with audience data that is currently running, if you've created any audiences based on any tag that you have in the shop, that will still continue to work. Same for custom conversions. I have the spreadsheet here that I wanted to go through with you, but instead of doing that, I'm just going to point you to the analytics page, and I'm going to point you to this video here. This is actually a brand new video that has a quick introduction on the analytics reports that are available, as well as a detailed walkthrough through this spreadsheet here, where you can actually learn some. Shopify finally jumped onto the bandwagon as well, and built this very clunky and conceptually awkward thing that they now call Facebook app. And the Facebook app incorporates a bunch of things that they used to have in separate apps before. And nobody really liked the previous apps, but now that everything is mingled into one, everyone is kind of forced to use them, or at least feels forced to use them. So the features that are folded into that Facebook app are, number one, the pixel integration. So there's no longer easy peasy, just get your Facebook pixel ID from Facebook, paste it into Shopify settings, hit save, and you're good to go. Your Facebook pixel is firing. They've done away with that, and have now incorporated the pixel integration in that really complex setup that connects to your Facebook. It connects through your Facebook profile, and it connects to your Facebook business manager. And from there, you set up the ad accounts, and from there, you set up the pixel, and from there, you also have to connect to a page for that. And it's all kind of commingled and difficult to understand, because it bunches three main functionalities together. It is Facebook sales channels that are hosted on a specific Facebook page. That's one feature that used to be in a separate app that used to be called Facebook Shop. Then they have the sales channel that is running on your Instagram profile that also used to be in a separate app before. And the third component is what they used to call in a separate app the Facebook marketing app. Now, Facebook marketing app is essentially kind of like a simple, quick and dirty remote control for your Facebook ads, where you can identify one single ad account that you can then create certain criteria with which Shopify will then create some Facebook ads to run on the products that you identify. But there are some severe limitations to that, and have always been, because the Facebook Marketer app only allows for a single business manager, a single ad account, a single pixel, and a single page to be used. So for any experienced or halfway evolved marketer that is not just a complete beginner, this is not something you want to use exclusively. And since it's kind of limiting your whole ad setup in the way that it does, I don't know any halfway experienced marketer who wants to use the Facebook Marketer app to run ads. It's just there's no optimization advantage, there's no setup advantage. It's just really only limitation. Limitation is maybe of a bit of an advantage for someone who is starting from scratch. Like if you're coming from an offline business and you want to just sell something online and you want to see how Facebook ads are doing, maybe for that kind of situation, it's a quick and easy way to get it set up. But it's so basic and it's so limiting, and it's so restrictive that nobody I know would actually want to use it. So then what do you do? Well, what you do is you use Trackify or something else, and you take the pixel out of that Facebook app, out of that Facebook app. And really the only thing that the Facebook pixel is used for in the Facebook app is for the Facebook marketing app, for the Facebook marketing module, right? If you don't run ads on the Facebook marketing module, you don't need the pixel at all, because if it's not used to track the sales channels, because the sales channels track on Facebook Ads Manager directly. They don't need the pixel setup at all, because anyone who buys on Facebook, on the Facebook sales channel or on the Instagram sales channel is known to Facebook. They're logged into Facebook anyway, right? Facebook Pixel is only used to track users off Facebook. Anything that happens on Facebook or on Facebook assets doesn't require the Facebook pixel for tracking, because they already know who you are when you go shopping in the Facebook sales channel, right? So you don't need it for any of that. You only need it for Facebook marketing app. And so therefore, it's just as simple. It's not, it's simple enough to take it out of Facebook marketing, out of that Facebook marketing module and remove it from there. And that's what you have to do. We have instructions for that. I'll post them under this video once the live stream is done. All right, so now let's go in here and see what the Trackify server-side events do. So on Shopify, those CAPI events, again, they're just as basic compared to the Trackify server-side events as the standard Shopify Pixel integration before that you just needed to copy and paste was less, was basic and unsophisticated compared to Trackify at that stage. So let's just go through this and let me tell you what the Trackify server-side events do. And let me further questions, just use the in-app chat to connect with us directly in the Trackify app, and we'll help you out with any questions you may have. I wish you the best of success and luck for anything you do in Q4. Like I said, be cautious until the big spenders are out of the way with the election day in 2 weeks, and build your audiences, build your stuff. If you have any questions about the tagging system, again, I point you to this analytics video here in the analytics page that is accessible through the shooter head icon. And if you have any questions that go beyond that, just reach out to us in the in-app chat, and we'll be happy to help you out and answer any questions as soon as possible. Thanks a lot for watching this Facebook Live. I hope you enjoyed it. Share it if you like it, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube if you're new to that as well. And this is Thomas Bartke signing off. Have an awesome day, and thanks for watching.